Hello everyone, let us see video timeline animation in Photoshop. So let us start. So here I have taken an A4 size landscape document. First, let's apply a gradient color to this document. So here is the gradient editor. So we will be applying a greenish gradient to our document. So we are applying a radial gradient style. So this is the starting point. Now let's start creating a video timeline animation. The option is inside the Windows menu. Inside the Windows menu, we can find timeline. Here is the timeline. And we just have to click on this video timeline. There is another option, that is frame animation. We should not select that. We have to select the video timeline. And currently we can see a bar, a purple or a blue color bar here. This is related to this particular layer. And if we collapse this layer, we can see here, these are the values we are going to animate. Right. And also we can see one red line here. This red line is the time indicator. And we can also see some values at the bottom. These are frames, seconds, minutes, hours. And our video is playing at 30 frames per second. And we can just move these sliders to expand or contract the video layers, or we can say the bars. If you want to see in frames, we have to just drag the slider to the right, or if you want to see the seconds, we can drag the slider to the left. Right. Now let's bring some images and directly start the animation. The topic that we have selected for the video timeline animation is how to maintain good health and fitness. At first we will type the text. We'll select the horizontal type tool or the type tool. We'll just type the text. The topic of our example is how to maintain good health and fitness. So this is the example we are doing. So we need to keep the text at the center of the document, and then if we check the video timeline, the timeline panel, and if we collapse the layer for the text, we can see the values which we can animate. Here we can animate the transform, the opacity, the style, and also the text warp. So what we will be doing is, we will animate the transform as well as the opacity for this particular text. So for that, what we are supposed to do is, to the left of the transform, we can see a stopwatch, and we can also see a stopwatch to the left of opacity here. So we need to turn on the stopwatch for both opacity and transform. So what will happen? We are going to create keys. So first what we will be doing is, we will select the text by activating the transform tool, and we will scale down the text. We'll make it very small, and then we will reduce the opacity for the text. And now we will turn on the stopwatch for transform as well as for opacity, so that we can see here, we can see the keys for opacity as well as transform. And also we can see here the background is not appearing at 5-second mark, so we have to extend the background. We want the background till the end of our example, so we have to just simply drag the purple bar for this background layer. Right. So now let's move the time indicator to, let us say, 6 seconds, and let's activate the transform tool for the text, and let's scale up. Let's increase the size of the text, and now let's also increase the opacity for the text. And now we can see the overall animation. But we need to understand that our text layer is appearing at the 5-second mark. So what we can do is, we can just move the blue bar of the text to the starting point. And now we can also extend the text layer till the end of our work area. Now let's play. So now we can see we have created a simple animation. Right. Then what we will be doing is, we want to show this particular text for at least let us say 2 seconds. So we have to just move the time indicator to 3 seconds. So here is the 3-second mark, and at 3-second mark we just have to create keys for both transform and opacity. And in case we are not, if we are not animating the transform, and if we are animating only the opacity, let us create keys only for opacity. So something like this. And from 3 seconds to 4 seconds we just have to reduce the opacity, so that only opacity is going to animate. So we will get a fade out effect. The text will fade out. So all we have to do is simply make the opacity 0%. That's it. Now let us check the overall animation. Let's go to the first frame and let's start playing. So we can see now the text appears for 2 seconds and disappears. And we can also do one more thing. If we want the text to appear a little bit longer, we can just select these 2 keyframes for the opacity, and we can drag them, and we can keep them till the 4th second. We can just extend the keys. So now we can see a 3-second animation. So means the text will appear for 3 seconds. So if we play, we can see here, we can see the text for 3 seconds and then it disappears. Right. Now let's get our first image, and then we will animate the image. So to get the image, the normal method is we have to go to file and we need to select a file open. But what will happen is, if we use file open, the image will not open in the active document, and also the image will open as a raster image, and it's not going to be a smart object. So what will happen is, the image will only have a one value to animate, that is position. We can only animate the position value for that particular image if we open the image normally, just by going to file and by selecting this open. Instead, what we'll be doing is, we'll go to file and we'll select place embedded. if we use this option, the image opens as a smart object, and also the image opens in the active document. So let's do it. So we can see the image has opened in the active document, and also the image is also a smart object. So we can check here, this image is a smart object. So what will happen with smart object is, if we collapse the image layer, we can see the value transform. We won't be seeing this transform value if we open the image by using file open. We will only see the position value. So means we cannot animate the rotation and scale for the image. We can only animate the position value for the image. So that is why I have used place embedded and I have opened the image as a smart object. Now we can animate all the values. Right. So let's start animating now. First, let us create keys, and also we have to position the image on the right side. We'll place the image on the right side here, and then let us create keys for the image. So we will be animating transform as well as the opacity for this image. And then what we'll be doing is we will just reduce the opacity. We'll make the opacity 0 for the image. Then what we'll be doing is we will just go to the 7th second, and then we will activate the transform tool. We'll just bring the image to certain distance. We'll increase the scale. We'll scale the image, and then we will also slightly increase the opacity for the image, and also we will rotate the image. So something like this. Right. So we can see some animation here. So we can see, and then we will just move the time indicator to 8 seconds, and then we will again just move the image. We will rotate the image, and we can also slightly scale the image, and also we can slightly increase the opacity for the image, and we will hit enter. And then we will just move the time indicator to 9th second now, and we will now just make it to its transform it to its normal position, and we will scale the image, and we will also increase the opacity for the image to 100%. So we can see the overall animation for this particular image. Now let us put a text below this image. So we will select the text tool, and we will just let me create the type, select the type tool here, and then we will first type the text, do regular exercise. Right. We'll just keep it to the right of this image. Right. And we'll give a simple opacity animation for this particular text. So what we'll be doing is, now here is the work area bar. So we have to just increase the or extend the work area bar till the end, and also we have to extend the image, this exercise image, and also we have to extend the bar for the background, right? So now let us reduce the opacity for the text. We have to select the text layer. So let's make the opacity for the text 0%, and let's create keys for the opacity, and let's move the time indicator to, let us say, 11th second, and we will increase the opacity. That's it. Now let us check the animation. So here is the animation, right? So now what we'll be doing is we will repeat the same process for the remaining images, for the rest of the images. We'll start getting the next images. So what we'll be doing is we'll first just move the time indicator to the end of our timeline, or near the work area bar. Then we'll just go to file and we'll select place embedded, and the next image is going to be, so this one, the junk food. So this is the junk food image, and let me animate it, and I will also be animating all the remaining images. So this is the same procedure. You can skip this step if you already understood how to animate, or you can watch the video in high speed mode. Now let us check the overall animation. So what we'll be doing is we will play from the first frame. So let's play. So here we can see how we have animated all the images. So we can also speed up the animation if we think the animation of these images is a little bit slow. We can control the speed by just moving the keys close. Right. There is one more attraction that we can add to our video presentation. That is, we can add a music or background music to our entire video animation. So what we can do is, if we just scroll down in the timeline or in the timeline panel, we can see something called audio track. We can add a music. So here we can just click here, and here there is an option add audio. We can just click on it, and we can just select the audio file. So here one audio file is there. I will just open it. So now Photoshop is adding this audio file or music file to our video. So we can see. But we have to trim our audio because our audio is extending beyond our video. So what we can do is we can just move the time indicator, and we will trim our audio. Just what we have to do is this green bar is the audio. So here we have the scissor. We will just click on that scissor, so it will split at the playhead. And now we will just delete this extra part. Simply select it and hit delete. That's it. And now let's try to play our music. We'll go to the first frame, and we will also just contract our panel, video panel, and let's play. So this is the audio. Now we are all set to export our video. So before exporting, let us extend the bars for all the elements inside our project so that they can appear a little bit longer. So what we can do is simply we can just drag the bars in this way. So make sure that all the bars are aligned properly, aligned in one line. So we have to extend everything here. Right. And now we can just extend the work area bar. So now we can see everything is appearing here. Right. Now we are all set to export. To export, what we'll be doing is, here on the top right corner of our timeline panel, we can see a hamburger menu. We just have to click on it, and then if we scroll down, we can see one option that is render video. We just have to click on it, and once we click on it, the render video dialog box appears. So this dialog box has plenty of options, but what we can do is, let us not just keep these options to their defaults. We have to change certain things. First, let's give a name for our file. So we can say good health. So we'll just keep a good health, and we will select the folder. So we will be saving our work in a particular folder, or let's say in a directory. So we can just create one folder. Video animation. So we'll just select this folder, and then the most important thing is, here we have the format. The format is currently H.264, and this is appropriate for our video animation. And the next one is, here we have the preset. If we want high quality, we can select high quality, but it will take a lot of time for rendering. So we will just use Paul DV. so that the render will be a little bit quick. And then the next thing is, if we scroll down here we can see range. And the most important thing to remember is we have to select work area here, because our animation will play till the work area, till the end of work area. So make sure that here work area is selected. And once we are done with all these things, we can now just click on this render. So this is the file that we have rendered. So now let us check our video file. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please do like, subscribe, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.